A very warm welcome to day 3 and our final day here in Gibraltar for the Inspire Sport Netball Europe U17 Challenge event at the Tercentenary Sports Hall. And what a weekend of netball we have had so far, and today is sure not to disappoint. 8 games so far this weekend have shown just how competitive the under-17 competition in this year. The netball has been outstanding. We've seen some great games of netball from all 5 competing nations this weekend. Host Gibraltar, Republic of Ireland, Switzerland, Malta and the Isle of Man. Here on day 3, Switzerland has emerged as the only undefeated side so far this weekend, but with 2 key games still to go, there is all to play for. I'm Lynn Carpenter and I'm delighted to be joined again today in commentary by Bryony Ravino, captain of Gibraltar. Welcome, Bryony.
Good morning, everyone.
A lot at stake here this weekend. How do you think this game, which is going to get underway shortly, Switzerland, Isle of Man, is going to go today?
I'm actually so excited to be sat here right now. It's just going to be such an incredible match. I think obviously Isle of Man have to go all out because they lost yesterday to Gibraltar. And then we got Switzerland who want to go home with that goal. So yeah, it'll be so interesting.
And we'll bring you the starting 7 shortly. Who do you think are the players to watch in this game? Who are going to be the key influences?
Obviously Switzerland have the height advantage in their goal shooter. I think she's 6 foot, Goddard is 6'1". Let's see what Isle of Man can do to counter-attack that. It's not easy. Obviously I am a defender, and when you play against tall attackers you have to find ways of mixing it up. And there are some interesting combinations in the Isle of Man. Yesterday we saw they did 6 changes in the second quarter. I believe they may have changed some of them today. But we did see a good play yesterday by their centre, Jacqueline Charter. She did look tired at the end though, but they did have a match earlier on that day.
So as you can see there in front of you, we have our last 2 games of the 10 this weekend to bring you live from Gibraltar. Switzerland and Isle of Man about to get underway shortly, 10 o'clock local time. Stay with us for the final game as host Gibraltar close out the tournament against the Republic of Ireland at 12. And we will, of course, be bringing you the presentation live shortly afterwards. So as you can see, the teams are lining up there. Switzerland undefeated, Isle of Man with a lot to prove, Bryony.
Yes, it's only 60 minutes to go. I think they both have to go all out. And Switzerland do have a height advantage throughout the court as well. But Isle of Man, they do have some nice style of play, and it's easy for them to get the ball up the court. So let's just see.
So let me introduce you to the starting 7 for both teams today. For Switzerland, goal shooter Goddard, goal attack Ralph, Deboutier at wing attack, their captain Mayer at centre, wing defence Harrison, goal defence Mackenzie Roida, and their goalkeeper Gran Horville. Their coach is Laura Kehoe. And for the Isle of Man, you'll see them taking to the court shortly. I can tell you that they are starting with Cook at goal shooter, Webster at goal attack, Jacqueline Charter has moved to wing attack, Burgess at centre, wing defence Williams, Neen in at goal defence, and their captain Shepherd in at goalkeeper. Their coach is Emma Williams. The umpires for today's game are Katie Howell and Anna Hernandez, reserve umpire Lynette Wall. So when these 2 teams met in October last year, Bryony, Switzerland took that match 45-28, so it was competitive.
It was competitive, but then it's still quite a low-scoring game from the Isle of Man. So obviously I believe Switzerland did try and limit their goals.
So here we go. Switzerland first centre pass.
You can already see the height difference between their goalkeeper, Isle of Man goalkeeper Shepherd, and the goal shooter Goddard. But they still got the turnover.
So Isle of Man get turnover on Switzerland's first centre pass. We've talked so much this weekend about the importance of getting your centre passes scored, and I think there's a learning point for many of the teams here this weekend about the impact, because it's not just that goal, it then gives the opposition their centre pass. So we always say it's 2-goal difference when you turn over your centre pass.
Definitely, I think that centre pass to goal is crucial. So you have to convert, and if not, obviously, then the opposing team get a chance of making it their own.
So great confident start by Webster for Isle of Man. 1-0, they lead. Very early stage, I think we'll see an offside there just by Harrison.
Good circle feed there by Cook.
Really good reading of the game by Mackenzie Roida. She started this tournament wing defence, but Switzerland have put her back in the circle, and with Grant Hawkfield they've been really effective.
I think people underestimate what a wing defence can do, and obviously you're probably one of the toughest defenders on court as well. So that's probably what they needed in the centre, in the goal third.
So Goddard couldn't quite keep that one in. So Isle of Man have another opportunity to bring the ball down. Jacqueline Charter out at wing attack. We were interested by that choice because she's played centre all tournament really effectively.
Yes, she's had a good few games as a centre, and I do believe she's actually a goal defence as well, if I'm not mistaken. So obviously has that defensive grit in her. But yes, she does move to wing attack today. Could be because she's tired, but we might see her moving back to centre later on.
And remember, it may be a Sunday morning, but I'm sure you're all tuning in to watch the netball here live from Gibraltar. Join us and let us know your thoughts for the game. Use our hashtag NEU17 challenge. We're just showing it to you on the screen, and we'd love to read out your comments. Netball Ireland, good to have you with us. I know you're looking forward to the next game against Gibraltar.
Another lovely baseline drive by Cook there.
She's been doing that effectively all weekend. 2-0, Isle of Man. Great pressure there by Isle of Man. First phase defence.
They do seem to prefer the left-hand side, and they need to switch it up like they've just done with the wing attack, Jacqueline Charter.
So Webster, bit of height in the circle.
And that was a nice feed by Burgess.
No. 3-0, Isle of Man lead. Their centre pass.
Seems quite similar to the Gibraltar match yesterday, where Gibraltar were up winning as well. So it's going to be such an interesting match. You can see Switzerland are making it easy at all.
No, great commitment there by Mackenzie Roida at goal defence for Switzerland. Great hands there, Jacqueline Charter finding Cook again on the baseline.
It's just so flawless, that baseline drive that she has.
We've seen her do that all tournament, and you would have thought that perhaps the defenders would have worked out a strategy for closing the back door there.
Yeah, I think a reverse pivot there, just not letting her go through.
So Isle of Man are really taking this game to Switzerland this morning. Webster finding Burgess in its centre.
Oh, great interception there by their goalkeeper, Grant Hawkfield.
Her speed of movement, Cook, is really effective in that circle. 5-0, Isle of Man lead. Perhaps not the score we might have expected this morning, but it's anyone's game. We have said that all weekend.
Not at all, but that's what we were saying earlier, that you actually need to stop their centre pass to goal now. So Switzerland have to work hard on converts.
We see Neen taking a great interception.
Interesting that she was actually a goal attack yesterday, so she's quite versatile to be able to play at the defensive unit.
Just hesitating slightly to the long ball into Goddard, but get the baseline drive, pull one back. Their centre pass. So Isle of Man leading Switzerland 5-1. It took them 6 minutes to score their first goal here. That's really good full court defence by the Isle of Man.
But it is quite similar, like we were saying yesterday. It took them about 6 minutes as well. So they just have to break that pattern and try and get into it as soon as possible.
5-2. Oh, and Brian Holtfield alert to the drive to the top of the circle there. Really good weighted ball by Ralph, finding Goddard.
He is very good at holding a space as well and having the height advantage. It's easier to just throw the ball in. Good pressure there by Goddard. As a keeper, that's probably the worst place to bring the ball in, and especially when you have a tall shooter defending that pass in.
So from 5-0 to 5-4. Great comeback by Switzerland. Harrison just offside, top of the circle. But Burgess again offside. He's just got to cut out those unforced errors.
We've seen so many over the last few days, and it's a pity because matches could have gone so differently. Another ball handling error. It's a nice dodge there by their wing attack they brought in.
Great feed into Goddard, holding strong under the post. Shepherd couldn't do anything with that. And what a comeback.
And their centre pass as well.
5-all. Ralph. So 6 goals without response now from the Isle of Man. What can they do on their centre pass, Bryony?
They've just got so much pressure now by Switzerland. Everyone's just got the stage 2 hands up, making it difficult, dictating where they have to go as well. Seems like an obstruction call.
So they'll be pleased with that. 6-all. Switzerland centre pass with just 6 minutes left here in this first quarter. Switzerland.
You can see the height advantage from their shooter, Switzerland goal shooter Goddard. So I think goalkeeper Shepherd must try and mix it up as much as possible, bring her out as much as possible.
Get her away from the baseline and an opportunity to take goal. 8-6 now. It would be interesting to look at the stats for how many centre passes have actually gone with the team so far.
They should have this available if they have a performance analyst or anyone actually on the bench doing that. I know we do that, and then that's when we get key as to how many we have to stop or how many we have to convert as well.
Switzerland now really putting huge amount of pressure on every pass. Jacqueline Charter. So Webster guard attack for Isle of Man. Sinks that one.
breaking by the goal attack, so obviously that centre pass is not, it's currently not going to go, so Switzerland have to convert this one.
So Isle of Man have an opportunity. Just a bit of hesitation there by Jacqueline Charter. So Switzerland again. Good hands over the ball. Well played, Cook. Where's that one going? Oh, that will be a throw into Isle of Man.
Probably she didn't realise her bearings, but she was actually
out of court.
Of course.
But great chasing the ball by both these teams. Somebody just needs to settle it down, take a bit of control. Harrison rewarded for her tenacity on the court. So the score line here with just over 3 minutes to go, 9-7. We expected this to be a key game for the weekend, Bryony, and it's not disappointing.
At all. I think obviously, like we mentioned earlier, Isle of Man have nothing to lose. They have to go all out and try and get that win. Switzerland a bit more calm from what we can see. But yeah, it took them a while to get into it, but it's paid out in the end.
Webster again pulls the score back. So Isle of Man now within one. Switzerland their centre pass.
Oh,
better
nice
by
feed.
the Isle of Man. Nice.
Jacqueline Charter's having some great feeds into the circle, so I don't know whether she's going to be going back as a centre, because she's been quite effective though as a wing attack as well.
And it was interesting, we saw Switzerland yesterday bring their captain Mayer out of defence and put her at centre. So you've got that equal height in there, which was an advantage for Isle of Man. But then Isle of Man changed it up, put it to wing attack, not what we were expecting.
Just shows how versatile you are at that age as well.
So Switzerland, the smallest of leads by 1, 10-9 here.
That's good vision by the umpire, seeing the obstruction just outside on the other side of the circle.
Dead ball situation, can they get it in? They can, so 10-all.
Just under 2 minutes to go.
The goal attack looks like she's indicating she's got a knock to her windpipe. Let's hope she's okay. Goddard down the other end. But she has seemingly needs to. So we know the issues here in terms of the normal 30 seconds injury, unless the medical team and the umpire indicates to the bench they're going to give more than 30 seconds if the injury is significant and they feel they need to bring on additional medical care.
Yeah, you could tell that she found it difficult to breathe. She was finding it difficult to breathe, and paramedics are now assisting.
I don't know if she took a knock to the windpipe. Bryony couldn't see.
It could happen, especially in netball is so contested nowadays that it can happen.
So as you can see, 1.5 minutes to go here. Quarter 1, game 9, day 3, 10-all. Unbelievable competition between these two sides. Isle of Man took a 5-0 lead, and then Switzerland, without response, put 6 on the board, and it's been go for goal since then.
Yes, and now just over a minute and a half left.
So Isle of Man centre pass. Three seconds.
good hands there, making it difficult and obviously forcing Isle of Man centre Burgess to get that interception.
Long bomb. Didn't quite keep it in. So Shepherd trying to avoid the long arms of Goddard. Uses her face too there to great effect. That quick release we've seen from Jacqueline Charter all weekend, and her speed of transition to support on the edge of the circle, really effective.
Yes, like I mentioned earlier, they do seem to prefer the left-hand side, but she's so quick to be at the circle edge just for the last pass as well.
So, Isle of Man, 12. Switzerland, 10, 20 seconds on the clock. Can they convert from their centre pass? Goddard can. So,
last few seconds.
Hold it there. So, what a competitive first quarter it's been here in Gibraltar. Switzerland against Isle of Man, nothing between these two teams. One goal only splits them. So, oh my goodness, what's going to happen in...
We saw Isle of Man with a very strong start, then we saw Switzerland fighting back, and now we've seen Isle of Man fight back at what Switzerland brought onto them. So it's just like, we don't know what's going to happen over the next 3 quarters.
And of course, these events are learning opportunities for the coaching staff as well. In the game that Isle of Man played yesterday against Gibraltar, 8-all at quarter time, we saw Isle of Man make 6 out of 7 substitutions in that quarter. Do you think they'll do that today, or do you think they're settled?
I very much doubt they'll do that today. As a coach, I wouldn't take the risk again. But they have their own reasons to do so. I think they have started quite well, especially as Switzerland were quite settled at the beginning. But to be honest, as a coach, I wouldn't do that many changes right now.
Well, we can see that both teams should be fairly happy with the score at quarter time. Isle of Man leading by the slimmest of margins here, 12-11. Switzerland the only undefeated side so far, but if Isle of Man take this game, it throws up all sorts of connotations for who may be the team to head up to the championship next March.
Oh yes, and obviously then it comes down to goal difference, I believe. And like I mentioned yesterday, we saw that last year here in Gibraltar with the senior challenge as well. And it's interesting to note that what goal difference means and how you have to just go all out for all other matches as well. So as a coach, it's so difficult because maybe that's when you want to make those swaps and those changes, but then you have to think, well, what if it comes into goal difference?
So we've just had the score readjusted by the technical bench there. So we can tell you that actually Switzerland are ahead 12-11 against Isle of Man.
I think it was the last shot there by Goddard. They could have been the other way around, put the other way around in our home screen.
Both these teams are still relatively new on the international scene, if you like. Isle of Man less than 2 years old. Switzerland celebrating their 10 years this year, decade of netball. We'll be talking to Joe Beveridge, one of their co-founders, in the next match. He'll be in Cons. Great to see so many new teams emerging, particularly for Gibraltar. You've done a huge amount in the last 10 years as well, so netball is really on the up.
Definitely, we were having this conversation earlier and how we're so thankful to just have one big netball family to be able to help us and achieve, and obviously especially for Gibraltar, we want to increase our ranking, and I suppose Switzerland and Isle of Man want to do the same, and it's just opportunities like these that happen and we're able to learn from them.
So we do believe that there are some substitutions coming, so we will bring those to you, just looking at the benches. It looks like Meyer for Switzerland is going back to goal defence, where we saw her start the tournament. Interestingly there, putting her back in to put some pressure on the shooters now that they've got a bit more height with Duval in at goal attack for Isle of Man.
Maybe that baseline cut that we were talking about earlier.
So as always, we'll bring you the official lineup shortly. As you can see, Harrison though has gone to centre for Switzerland. So Isle of Man gets the early turnover in this quarter, trailing by 1. That combination of Meyer and Gronholville in there for Switzerland, putting pressure on the shooters, but Duval sinks that one. It's all level, 12-all.
Good pressure there.
So again,
by Switzerland on the centre pass.
You can see Mackenzie Rowida now in at wing defence. Goddard.
Just a 1-point difference here again.
So Jess, looks like you are tuning in to watch this great competition between these two sides. Switzerland against Isle of Man. Hope you're enjoying the netball here, seeing Switzerland take a 2-goal lead, 14-12. Defence by Switzerland.
Could go in there for that baseline, but it seems that obviously
so
Switzerland goalkeeper trying to like make it difficult for her and obviously get in that interception as well.
So that height difference now in the defensive unit by Switzerland, really making Isle of Man hesitate, not really sure where the space is in attack, and here they come.
Especially the stage 2 defense. Obstruction call there by Meyer.
Picked up by the captain for Switzerland. Couldn't quite hold the ball, Mackenzie Rowida. That's not going to go in. So they've shut down those baseline moves. They're making it really difficult. Great defence by the centre court defence for Switzerland. And under pressure, Duval thinks another one for Isle of Man. 14-13. It was a late takeover. Yeah, we've just seen that a lot, haven't we? But Harrison really fought hard to get that one back. Great pass into Goddard.
(15-13) now to Switzerland.
On Hopefield, just a bit late. Nice touch by Jacqueline Charter, recognising the effort. And there she goes again, 15-14.
And they're coming back. It's going to be one of those matches. You can tell that both teams aren't giving up; they're giving their all.
Who are you going to put your money on, Bryony, in this one?
I can't say. Lately, so many things have been happening that it's so difficult to say.
Great feed in to Ralph at goal attack for Switzerland. Lovely shot by her. 16-14.
Good reset there.
Oh, well kept in there by Cook. They're just finding their space is being completely shut down now by
Switzerland's defense. So tight there on the Isle of Man. They're finding it so difficult to get the ball into the circle.
So 10 minutes to half time, 2 goals in it. Isle of Man to bring the ball down. Oh, you see both Mayer and...
Nice feed there by Burgess.
That was a great take by Duval. Couldn't quite put it in. You can hear the crowd behind us urging both teams on here.
And we can hear the bells.
You can always hear the bells. So 17-14. Oh, another breaking.
Seems like a contact though, doesn't it? Because she was stood beside her.
In these critically close games,
that was
great
so
read.
well read by their keeper.
We've seen her do that all weekend, haven't we, Gran Hortfield? Hunt the ball.
I think you got so many inspirational women, especially Gibraltar. I think she's known for that fly. And you have to try and make it difficult for them. So any opportunity you can take, you have to go for it.
It's great play. Now,
great shooter-to-shooter pass.
We have talked a little bit about advantage. Goddard to give them a 4-goal cushion. So this is definitely Switzerland's quarter so far.
It is. They have come back fighting, and it's so easy for them to get the ball into the circle as opposed to Isle of Man are struggling.
So 7-3 this quarter to Switzerland, 12-11 at quarter time. So that substitution of putting Mayer back in the Switzerland defence has made a huge difference to them.
You can see how they have struggled getting the ball in. It's just the extra pressure you were talking about.
So Cook coming really deep. We haven't seen her doing too much of that this weekend. Great, there she goes. Baseline cut. So halfway through this second quarter, Switzerland are leading 20 goals to 15 here at the Tercentenary Sports Hall in Gibraltar, the Netball Europe U17 Challenge event.
The Isle of Man now have an opportunity to get the ball, and unfortunately it's gone off court, so they need to turn that over and then get their centre pass to go. Another ball handling error.
You can sense the pressure these players are under, Bryony.
It's not easy, especially when you've had 2 tough days of matches as well, so they just need to carry on going.
That's great defence again. It's like a wall of black when you look down the court. Really effective. Just not able to capitalise though, bring the ball out.
No, they are struggling slightly. They work so hard in the goal third to get that ball and turn over that ball.
Harrison, great interception on the top of the circle there. Read the trajectory of that ball really well. And here they come. Couldn't quite capitalise. So a bit of end-to-end here at this moment in time. 5 goals in it.
And another hunt there and fly by their goalkeeper, Gran Hortfield. As a goal shooter, you should be thinking now what you need to do to position yourself to not allow that goalkeeper to be able to fly.
So the long long bomb into Goddard. It doesn't disappoint. 21-15.
Isle of Man having to use a few too many passes in that centre third to get the ball through.
They missed the opportunity of popping it over to Cook as both defenders marked the goal attack. They are really forcing the ball wide. Grant Horfield hoping she could have caught that, but it was a great tip. They are struggling a bit.
They are, and that's when you've been called for a contact. You need to use your time and to make sure that all your team is correctly positioned as well.
With good reading of the ball by Shepherd. So 4 minutes to go. Gap of 6 so far. 9-4 this quarter.
Nice transition there. But Switzerland are all over the stage too. Their hands are up as soon as the ball is in their hands.
So Cook with the penalty, pulls one back. 5 the difference between these two sides now. Ralph looking for Goddard.
And a second opportunity now.
Takes the chance well. Not going to go anywhere apart from into Mackenzie Rhodes' arms.
Switzerland are very good at dictating where they have to take their player.
Oh, just too much. And now they're back chasing the game. Great feed by Deboucher to Goddard. Gives them a slightly more comfortable lead, 7 goals, 23-16. But of course, we've seen that in this tournament until
we see it too often happening. So everyone's just in it to win it, as we mentioned, and they won't stop until the end.
There we see the beloved cowbells. Great to see so much travelling support for both the teams here, but actually for all the countries. They're just tempting the long ball. The pressure.
They're finding it so difficult to get free that that's what they're reverting to, and unfortunately you have to stop, use your 3 seconds and position yourself correctly.
The 24 plays 16 into the last 2 minutes until half time.
And another long ball on the other side. Obstruction call there.
And just not having any options apart from the long one, which is exactly what Switzerland want the Isle of Man to do. It's really effective defence. There is no options. It's great defence. Oh, well played.
And good hands there. That
was good movement. You saw Mackenzie Rowida repositioning herself to be in between the wing attack, and Cook throwing the ball in. Just means that every ball they've got has got to be elevated. So 30 seconds left. 24-16, Switzerland lead Isle of Man. Their throw in. Can they take the ball to the post?
Good pressure now by the Isle of Man, making it difficult.
Seconds on the clock.
An obstruction call there, so obviously they get the advantage now in that shot.
25-16, and we see these two very competitive teams take to the bench with Switzerland a 9-goal lead now, 25-16. Bryony, talk us through that first half.
It's just been a whirlwind because we saw Isle of Man coming up so strong at the beginning, then Switzerland fighting back, Isle of Man fighting back, and now obviously Switzerland have a bit of a lead. We don't know whether they're going to make any changes now in the third quarter. The changes that Switzerland made in the second quarter were quite effective. Isle of Man are finding it difficult getting the ball into the circle. Is it a time for the coaches to make substitutions, especially for the Isle of Man? We did see so many yesterday that maybe they haven't found the right combination of players on court right now.
So in terms of quarters, we saw the first quarter 12-11. There was nothing to choose between the teams. Those key changes for Switzerland seemed to have the biggest impact on the game. 13-5 they took that quarter, and you could see the pressure the attack for Isle of Man felt under. The number of turnovers that unit for Switzerland has created at the back has been really effective.
Yes, the defensive unit, Switzerland defensive unit has been working so hard. We've seen just a few flies from their goalkeeper, granddaughter, and obviously being able to convert the ball after those turnovers is a great win, because as a defender, once you get that interception and then your team being able to convert, that's a high for you as well. So hats off to them.
So there's been some amazing moments in this first 30 minutes of this game between Switzerland and Isle of Man. Let's bring some of those to you with some replays. So as we can see, the change of play and the change of tempo really proved effective from Switzerland, moving their captain back to what we saw her start the tournament in as goal defence. That combination of Mackenzie Rowida at wing defence, Mayer at goal defence, and Grant Holtville absolutely shut down all the options for Isle of Man in that quarter. Bryony.
Yes, it has worked out for them. And depends on who you're playing, you have to take the risk and make these changes, but obviously on this occasion they stuck to their guns, and obviously it has panned out for them.
And we've seen Goddard, this is Switzerland's last game of the tournament. Very tall timber, but effective, able to move, gives different options. She has not had a quarter off, so if she plays this whole game, she'll be playing 16 out of 16 quarters for Switzerland.
It is tough work, especially as a shooter, because everyone's relying for you to score at the end. So, yes, just being able to play 16 quarters and be calm and composed is good.
So So we may very well see some changes for the Isle of Man. They're going to want to give themselves some more options in attack.
Isle of Man have nothing to lose right now, so they have to find out the most effective 7 players on court to be able to convert those, especially as they are struggling once it gets into the goal circle.
We're just watching the benches from here, and it looks, and I might be wrong, that Isle of Man are putting Jacqueline Charter back at goalkeeper. That's an interesting option for them.
She is taller than the current goalkeeper and Captain Shepherd, so they're probably giving her some tactics of how to stop her, stop Goddard trying to get that baseline run and hold, because she does have a very good hold.
So we will, of course, bring you all the official substitutions. This is what it's looking like from here. Another exciting 30 minutes ahead of us. Switzerland against Isle of Man. Switzerland so far undefeated in this tournament. 3 out of 3 wins before this morning's game. Isle of Man, mixed fortune so far. Looking to take the win here, if at all possible.
Yeah, like we said, there's only 30 minutes left, and they have to try and find out a way to be able to stop their goal shooters, obviously, and goal attacks, getting the ball in. So try and make it as difficult as possible. But it's a team effort. It's not just once the ball gets into the circle. Centre courts have to try and defend that ball. Stage 2, have their hands up as soon as possible, dictate where their players are going to as well.
So Isle of Man, 2 out of 3 wins under their belt. They lost to Gibraltar in what was a really competitive game. So we saw them come out in this first quarter, take a 5-0 lead without response, but then Switzerland put 6 straight back on the board.
Yeah. It did take a while for Switzerland to get into that first quarter, but once they're settled, they've been having a very good game as well.
So let me talk you through the changes for Isle of Man. They have really run the bench, I suppose, with the impact of the goal defence and the goalkeeper at Switzerland. They're trying to give themselves some options. So for Isle of Man, starting at the start of this third quarter, Webster in at goal shooter, Cook moving out to goal attack, Leith now on at wing attack, at centre Williams from the wing defensive position before, wing defence is now Burgess, and as we said, we are seeing some changes in defence. Shepherd now moving out to goal defence, and the height of Jacqueline Charter going to take on the might of Goddard in there. That's an interesting lineup.
Oh yes, 7 changes in there. So they have the confidence in their players to be able to make those changes, but is it a risk? We'll soon find out.
Well, if there are any changes for Switzerland, we will of course bring those to you as soon as the game gets underway. So just seconds away from the start of the second half here. Switzerland in a 9-goal lead, 25-16 against Isle of Man. So 7 new players combination out there. They're either going to come out and hit the court and impact quickly, or take a bit of time to settle. So going to be interesting few minutes.
It's the only downside of making so many changes, how long it's going to take for them to actually get on and with it. So hopefully they start on a high.
So Isle of Man immediately gets the turnover off Switzerland centre pass, but just couldn't capitalise. And Ralph will put another one on the board. 10-goal difference now, 26 Switzerland, 16 Isle of Man.
There's so much pressure there from anyone in the Switzerland team. They just got the stage to the hands up.
But that's the second attack, gone straight off the back line. Now, what can Isle of Man do? Goodbye, Shepherd. Burgess now in at wing defence, we've seen there. Better movement by Isle of Man.
It's good transition there by the Isle of Man.
So Webster goal shooting out for the Isle of Man. Pulls one back. 9 the difference.
Such a lovely drive there by Ralph.
Goddard couldn't quite keep it in. Great feed by Jacqueline Charter. They just allow themselves to get pushed up against that sideline.
As a defending team, that's probably what you want to do. You want to push them to the sideline as much as possible and not have the width in the middle. Good position in there by Lake.
I think Guan Horville will be saying to herself, I can get my hand to it, I can catch the ball. French speaking.
Yes. So
I don't know what that was in French, but I think we got the implication. So Cook.
But it's interesting to see that regardless of what language you speak, everyone understands the rules.
So netball is the universal language. 26-18, Isle of Man centre pass.
Good hands there by Ralph. Tip.
Harrison.
It's better pressure there by the Isle of Man.
Get the throw in. Oh. Unlucky by Jacqueline Charter. Height making a difference in there, perhaps?
It is. And obviously as a defender, when you're playing against such tall players, you just have to try and mix it up as much as possible.
Just trying to take the front pace. So Goddard again. Takes the difference in these two sides back to 10. 28 plays 18.
She is a lefty, so obviously you need to try and push her to the other side, which is not probably as comfortable and confident.
Webster. Unlucky there. So Switzerland come again. Bit of a misunderstanding there between Mackenzie Roida and Guan Horville. So wing attack for Isle of Man. Leith calls for bringing the ball into her defender.
And just another ball handling error. Great hold there by Goddard.
Goddard made sure on that one. 29-18. 5 minutes gone now in the third quarter. Lovely feed, turning Goddard to the post.
It is. But as a keeper, you need to carry on mixing it up, and they say 3 seconds, 3 angles, so you just can't keep still and quick feet.
Hope you're joining in and watching this really exciting netball here down in Gibraltar. Remember, if you are tuning in, hashtag NEU17 challenge. Send us your messages, your thoughts on the game. Who has been outstanding this weekend for all the teams?
Isle of Man get the ball back. Webster making it 19 for the Isle of Man, 30 Switzerland. All good hands there.
Nice drive by Ralph at the top of the circle. Picked up by Goddard. Her effective height in there.
Read so well there by Switzerland's goal defence, Mayer. They've both had a great game, Mayer and Grand Oakville.
Isle of Man get it back. Great positioning and take by Cook. She will get the penalty. That discipline needed by defenders, just not to give away a penalty at the last second there. 31 plays 20. Better quarter so far for Isle of Man, 6-4. So nothing between these two sides at this stage.
No, not now, but obviously the lead that Switzerland had earlier in the second quarter has helped them so much.
Yeah, that second quarter really is hurt Isle of Man.
And sometimes it's just that quarter that's a decider.
Gran Horfield looking for the options, finds Mayer. It's good pressure by Isle of Man.
Oh.
Almost had it, Ralph. Replaying. So Williams in at centre for Isle of Man. Just too much. You're not going to get that over the head of Gran Horfield in there.
No, definitely not. Obviously due to the height advantage.
So 32 plays 20. Great pick up by Jacqueline Charter. Just
replayed.
Yeah, didn't quite get the cleanness of the take. Goddard takes another one.
It's a good shooter there, shooter pass there by Ralph to Goddard. Unlucky hands there.
Great pressure by Goddard. And she takes that one, deserved that. Worked hard in defence, 34-20.
Oh, great hands again by the goalkeeper, Gran Oakville. She's just all over the ball.
Footwork called against Leaf. The transition for both these teams from attack to defence has been really effective today.
It has, and I think Switzerland is slightly much more patient in their transition. Unlucky there by Shepherd.
Yeah, she got the hands to the ball, put the pressure on, but Goddard managed to keep hold of it. 15 now, the difference between these two sides, 34-20. That early release finding Goddard under the post by Ralph.
I think it was just free passes, and as an attacking team, that's what you want to do.
Just not getting the weight of the ball right in attack there. Isle of Man.
Obstruction call.
Well read by Jacqueline Charter. Picked up a tip.
Oh, and again.
If you don't keep running onto the ball, you stand still. One of these two defenders are going to hunt the opportunity down.
They are on the hunt, and the ball won't come to you, so you have to go towards the ball, unfortunately.
So 3 minutes just over now left until three-quarter time. Switzerland 16 up. She's going to do that all day, Violetta.
Like we were mentioning earlier, shooters need to position themselves to not allow that to happen. There's been a lot of replay balls in this match as opposed to the footwork calls yesterday.
Looking for options. It's a good rotation there by Ralph and Goddard. Created two options for Switzerland.
Yeah.
The short and the long. That's so important to have those, isn't it, in attack?
Especially, obviously, when you're in the circle, you need to work together, and someone might just be doing a screen to allow the other person to come through.
So can they pull one back? They can. Isle of Man 21, Switzerland 37. So quite a significant 16-goal margin now, Bryony.
You can tell that Switzerland just kept on going, whereas the Isle of Man are struggling to get the ball in.
So 2 minutes left in this quarter. Been a really strong one again for Switzerland.
That's a nice shot. Nice shot there by Webster.
1:48 to go. Just a bit too far for Goddard. Well to pick that one up. Great split landing.
Great feed at the circle edge. Good pressure there at the centre pass by Harrison.
Great timing on her jump there. Goddard. 39-22. Their centre pass, just over a minute left now until three-quarter time. Oh, well in, Jacqueline Charter. Just not quite looking after the ball there.
They just need to use their 3 seconds, because obviously they're lobbing the ball over and not thinking as to who's going to be there.
Oh, well done again. Oh, great pop by Ralph. Easy feed in by Goddard. It's interesting, Goddard always takes the throw in from the back line. Being the taller player, most teams normally have the tall shooter in there as the
You would think, but that's just an effective role there.
It is, it works. And maybe it's because Ralph has the change of pace and the ability to I don't know, but Goddard seems to be really effective.
Seems to be one of their tactics, and obviously as when you're analysing teams like this, you have to think of what they're actually bringing.
You can hear the crowd saying 5 seconds. Oh, such a great timed interception by Jacqueline Charter. Probably saved them a goal there. So as the teams hit the bench for three-quarter time, Switzerland are leading here in Gibraltar, 40 goals against Isle of Man's 22. So another effective quarter by Switzerland. Their changes have been really effective.
Definitely. We haven't seen that many changes in Switzerland throughout the match. But then again, we saw 7 changes in the Isle of Man, and that happened yesterday. So I don't know whether trying to find the most effective 7, as we were saying. They have had some good passages of play, but then they're not able to convert once it gets there because they got so much pressure by the Swiss defence in the goal circle.
So another really strong quarter for Switzerland. They took that one 15-6, 13-5 the one before. So Isle of Man obviously tried to counter the effectiveness of the Switzerland defence that took them into half-time. Those changes perhaps haven't quite allowed them to do that yet.
You did see by the end of the third quarter that obviously their goalkeeper Jacqueline Charter coming in. It took her a while. She has got some interceptions, but then Switzerland's goal shooter Godard and Ralph are so composed that they're just making everything count.
So we said at the beginning of the game that when these two sides met last October, the outcome was 45-28. We didn't know whether that would be the case, but actually 40-22
quite similar.
Time is quite similar. Higher scoring, this one.
It is higher scoring, but Switzerland have a very good stage 2 defence. They've got their hands up and obviously making it a low scoring game for the Isle of Man.
So if you're enjoying the netball here this morning, as you can see, Switzerland leading Isle of Man 40-22. Don't go away. We will be back at 12 o'clock local time to see the final game here this weekend between host Gibraltar and Republic of Ireland. That's going to be another really competitive game.
It is, especially obviously Isle of Man lost to Gibraltar yesterday, but then Gibraltar have to beat the Republic of Ireland to come in at second place, I believe. So if not, it will go to goal difference. So it's going to be another interesting match. So I hope you log in and watch as well.
So we will, of course, be bringing you that game live from Gibraltar later on this morning. 10 games, 3 days. Most of the teams here, every team has had to play 2 games in one of the days. It's been extremely competitive. We have to remember these players are 14, 15, 16 years of age, Bryony. It's been a huge display of competitive, top quality international netball this weekend.
Definitely, and obviously this will only make them fight much more for what they want, especially when you're 14, 15 and you've still got a few good years ahead in the under-17. You'll learn so much from it, and it's such an experience to be able to be here and be able to share this with them.
And it's really important at this age that they're looked after, they have the appropriate strength and conditioning, advice around nutrition, proper training, rest, recovery, because, you know, some of these players have got 20 years ahead of them to look forward to, and that pressure on them as athletes through that time really means they've got to be developed appropriately.
Yes, there's so much out there and there's so many opportunities that they have to take care of themselves now and obviously take everything and take all the advice that they've been given.
So we will bring you the changes. Isle of Man have made a significant number. Neil in at goal shooter, Duval back on at goal attack, Leaf staying at centre, at wing attack, sorry. Jacqueline Charter now back in the centre position. Burgess at wing defence, go defence, Pitsy and Turner on at goalkeeper. No changes for Switzerland. So Neil, she'll be pleased with that. First shot goes in, yep, sets the nerves.
Good baseline drive there by the goal attack. Duval, but obviously Grant Hawk will get in her hands and
so Meyer giving Switzerland possession back. Better defence by Isle of Man. But Ralph cutting the front, 41-23. Nice ball into Neil. Scores another one.
2 out of 2 so far.
41-24. Their centre pass. So Neil not quite get that one in.
Good pressure on stage 2 by the other man.
Yeah, good distance before, so feet before arms.
I think it's a common mistake that most netballers make. It's just they think, oh, obstruction's called, and half of the time it's hands before distance.
Yeah. So Switzerland in a commanding lead here in Gibraltar against a very competitive Isle of Man, 42-24. Ball by Jacqueline Charter. Leaf now back wing attack. Trying to create the options. Nice way to
nice ball in.
So 25 plays 42. Their centre pass for Isle of Man. Feed in to Duval under the post.
They are working so much better, especially in that goal third.
So 42-26.
Another footwork called.
So the gap back to 8-16. Claude 2 back this quarter. And Isle of Man in possession again.
Another nice hold there by Neil. Oh, well read there by their goal defense, Bitsy.
For options. Jacqueline Charter did well. That there was a free player in there in the circle. Gran Hawkfield closed it down now. And that's not going to go.
She's just hunting for that ball. She might not be close to you as a defender, but she'll go and get it.
But isn't that a great stage, defense stage 1 there? She's kind of tempting the ball in, giving a bit of space.
Of course, obviously as a defender, you don't want your attacker to know that you're actually hunting for that ball. You're just probably thinking, oh, she's not with me, she's not close to me, I can get that ball. And obviously that's when you have to go to the ball, because the defender's definitely going to try and intercept it.
Harrison's had a really good game in centre there for, having said that, for Switzerland. She has had a good game, just unfortunate footwork.
Delayed takeoff.
So 5 minutes gone here already. So if the scoreline stays like this,
quite similar to last year's.
It is. It looks like Switzerland will have come out the weekend undefeated, 4 wins from 4. So they will be making the trip to the championship next year. Exciting opportunity for them.
Definitely, it would be so interesting for them to be able to play against different teams as well. It's all part of a learning curve.
So they will face the Emirates, who were promoted last October, England, Scotland and Wales, with Northern Ireland playing down here in the challenge section next year. Ball getting pulled back. Umpire Anna Hernandez from Gibraltar, only 18.
Yes, she's only 18, and apart from being an umpire, she is a great player as well. So it's good to see how versatile you can be and just have these opportunities as a player and obviously as an umpire, which you learn so much from.
Great tip by Brian Horville.
She's not giving up at all, regardless of the scoreline.
So competitive, this Swiss side.
Which is great to see. Just because you're winning doesn't mean that you have to give up, and just you have to fight for that ball. Great feed there.
So Goddard, 44-26, halfway through his last 15 minutes now. Four all in this quarter.
It could be that the changes are quite effective right now. But they have made so many changes throughout this game that
so I make it 14 changes Isle of Man have made in the game.
Wow.
Interesting coaching tactics.
It is, but we did mention they are young, so maybe they're trying to find their path as well. So if they've still got a few good years ahead of them, be interesting to see how they do next year and how many changes they do go ahead and make.
Yeah, and this combination of Neil and Duval working well for Isle of Man. The shooting circle, 44-27.
Especially Nia, she does have that height advantage that they didn't have earlier, so she has a good hold as well. And there she goes again.
Options, Ralph, and that fast hands turn and release, finding Goddard under the post.
Her hold, she just holds to the last second when the ball is released.
45 now, 27. So just over 5 minutes to go. Who would you say have been the effective players, consistent players in this match, Bryony?
Especially the Swiss defense, even though the Swiss attackers and shooters, Goddard and Rafa, had a good game, but the opportunities that Maya, Mackenzie Rowett at the first quarter and Grant Hopeville had created and been able to get for them is just, they've just been hunting for all those balls and never given up. On the Isle of Man side, they made a few too many changes for my liking, so it's difficult to say what would have happened if that person would have stayed in that position as well.
As we say, 14 changes compared to Switzerland's 3. Doesn't mean that was the reason for the result today. But interesting different tactics of the coaching sides.
Yes, obviously Switzerland not making that many changes, but it's worked so well for them, and it has throughout the tournament as well.
The left hand of Goddard scores another 47-28. She's been one of the dominant shooters. So with 4 minutes to go on the clock, we have almost an identical score to the match these two teams played last October. That match ended Switzerland 45, Isle of Man 28.
And just a lovely, yes, and a lovely interception there by Pizzi, coming back to the score. I don't know whether they've been given targets, because obviously based on what the performance was last year, but it's so similar, it's unreal.
And of course these two teams will have some players that were here last year, some not, because of the age under 17 and the deadline of have to be under 17 31st of December.
Yeah, but I do hope that both teams have some of the key players next year, especially Switzerland, obviously, as they're going up to the championship section. And another nice feed and shot there by Goddard.
So 20 now the gap here, just 3 minutes left, Switzerland leading 48-28.
And Ralph and Goddard
28.
having a great understanding there, Ralph and Goddard, just that shooter-to-shooter pass.
Just a little bit of a misunderstanding there between Neil and Jacqueline Charter. They all need to stay focused for these last 3 minutes of this match. That was a great weighted ball by Deboutier. Saw her turn Goddard to the post.
She just has a lovely turn and is so close to the post once. Oh, another footwork called. So but Isle of Man still have to keep in it, because you never know what can happen with the Gibraltar versus the Republic of Ireland, and if goal difference starts to come into play.
So Switzerland have hit their half century. They're on 50, Isle of Man 28. We will update the on-screen scoreboard. There we go.
And there she goes again.
Mayer, as captain, has had an outstanding tournament. Many of these Swiss players have this weekend. Just put that foot down. So the clock here in the stadium showing just under 2 minutes to go.
Great pressure though by Switzerland. Stage 2, hands up.
So 1.5 left in the stadium. We've just got some technical issues with our clock on screen, so we'll make sure we talk you through the last 90 seconds of this game. Looking to find in front cut there by Devor.
Goalkeeper Gran Hawkville just being cautioned by a constant obstruction by the looks of it.
So 50-29. We literally have a minute left on the clock.
I think we're going to hear the Swiss bell soon.
and rightly so too. This has been a great performance by Switzerland. They came back brilliantly from a 5-0 deficit in the first few minutes of this game.
Maybe it was a tactic, you never know.
I'm not sure the coaches might say that.
Probably having a heart attack the first few minutes.
So they'll be looking for another one here. Couldn't quite hold it.
Toss up. One of the first few times I've actually seen it this tournament.
I don't think I've seen a toss up for years in netball.
No.
So 14 and the clock's ticking down. Will they get it in? One final shot. Are they aware of the time?
Swiss players on the bench are ready to jump on court by the looks of it. Oh, and a nice interception there by Pizzi.
And that is it. The Swiss will celebrate. They've taken this game and the tournament 50 against Isle of Man 29 today. What an outstanding game, Bryony, we've seen between these two sides this morning.
Yes, we did see Switzerland obviously not get into it at the first few minutes, but they came back fighting. So just in the second half of the first quarter. Isle of Man having a few too many changes as well, but the scoreline from last October is quite similar as well. So congratulations to Switzerland, who are now going over to the championship section next year. And obviously you never know what's going to happen with the Isle of Man, because now Gibraltar obviously have to beat the Republic of Ireland. If not, it goes to goal difference. So who knows who's going to win second place for now?
Well, I think Maggie Jackson, who's Netball Europe's technical director, will have her calculator ready. It's all still to play for. Don't forget, be back here 12 o'clock local time to see the last game, the Netball Europe Under-17 Challenge here between host Gibraltar and Republic of Ireland. It literally is going down to the wire. Bryony, it's been great to have you with us this weekend. We've really enjoyed it, and congratulations again on Gibraltar's Open bronze medal out in Hong Kong recently.
Thank you, and thank you for having me, and I can't wait now to cheer for my team, so I wish them all the best of luck.
And of course, our special thanks here today go to Netball Europe, Inspire Sport, Gibraltar Netball Association, QTV Sports and GIB Media, who've brought the live streaming to you, all the volunteers who make our great sport happen, and all of you at home. Hope you've enjoyed the netball this morning. Don't go too far away. We're back at 12. Alamea, captain of Switzerland and the champions of the Netball Europe U17 Challenge event. What a great game you've just played against Heilemann. How do you all feel?
So good, so proud of my team, like really so happy. It was a good match, very, very good.
And really competitive. You had some options out there on court. You ran the changes a little bit from yesterday. How did you prepare for the game? Because we knew this was going to be a key one this morning.
So we just went over things, and we just really concentrated on our game plan. And yeah, we just stick to our game plan and just believed in ourselves.
So very similar score against Heilemann from last year. So when you played them last October, it was 45-28, so not dissimilar. But the reward for winning the tournament today is you will now go and face the championship sides next March, England, Scotland, Wales and Emirates. How does that feel?
It feels amazing. I can't believe Switzerland's going to play against England and Scotland. It's really incredible. And I think it's going to really pick up the level in Switzerland, so it's great. It's really good for clubs. And yeah, it's just great. It's really good.
And you have been outstanding as captain all weekend. We've been immensely impressed by you and all your team and squad. So congratulations. Anything you'd like to say to people back home who might be watching?
I just really want to say thank you to the supporters. Anyone from local clubs, Minion Netball, thank you so much. And yeah, all the little girls watching. And I coach a few little girls, so that I'm sure there's a few of them watching. And that's the next generation of Swiss netball and netball actually. So it's just really great.
Well, Ella, congratulations to you and Switzerland. We will see you in the championships next March.
Thank you so much.
A warm welcome to day 3 and our final game here in Gibraltar for the Inspire Sports Netball Europe Under-17 Challenge event at the Tercentenary Sports Hall. What a weekend of netball we've had so far, and today so far has certainly not disappointed. We've seen 9 games so far this weekend, which have demonstrated just how competitive the Under-17 event has been this year. The netball has been outstanding. We've seen great games of netball from all 5 competing nations this weekend. Host Gibraltar, Republic of Ireland, Switzerland, Malta and the Isle of Man. Here on day 3, I can tell you that Switzerland has won the Under-17 Challenge event, undefeated in all 4 games this weekend. Our congratulations go to them. I'm Lynn Carpenter and I'm delighted to be joined for the last game here today in the commentary box by Joe Beveridge, co-founder of Swiss Netball, and probably still celebrating, Joe.
Oh, without a doubt still celebrating. I'm not sure I can be sitting here calmly at this precise moment. What a match we've just watched with Swiss Netball. And 10, 12 years ago, we would never believe that we were now at the situation where we were facing England netball next year. It's just incredible. I've been talking to my co-founder this morning and saying to her, wow, did we ever believe we'd get here? And it's amazing. All credit to the coaches and Emma Connolly, amazing.
And of course, netball is such a team event here. It's the team behind the team and the team behind the team behind the team. Yep. We know Switzerland have closed out the tournament 4 games and 4 wins, but it is all still to play for. Our last game this morning that we're bringing you live in just a few minutes, Gibraltar against the Republic of Ireland. Everything to play for, the silver medal still completely at stake. How do you think this game is going to go today, Joan?
We were talking earlier, I think it's going to be a very interesting game. As we were saying, if Gibraltar hold their nerve, they play their game, they don't get rattled, then they have a very good chance of taking the silver medal position. They've played consistently well throughout the tournament. But never underestimate the Irish. They play a good game and they could come in and just sneak it away from Gibraltar if they just hold their nerve.
So we will shortly be bringing you the starting 7 for both of these teams. But when you look at their squads, who do you think is going to be instrumental in this match today?
Well, the Gibraltar shooters, when they hold their nerve, they're extremely good. I'm sure their shooting stats are fairly high at the moment. Their goal attack is particularly effective on court. So I'm hoping that they will hold their nerve and those feeds into the circle will be what they need to just pop that ball into the net.
And of course, these 2 teams played each other only last October. There was nothing between it then. 24-27. Ireland took that game against Gibraltar.
There you go. As I said, you can never actually underestimate the Republic of Ireland. You don't know how they're going to come out and play. They could actually take it today if they really hold their nerve and shoot well.
And of course, we can hear the crowd in the background. So both the host Gibraltar packed the stadium behind us, Joe, but you can hear the Irish really supporting their team.
The Irish drums are right behind our backs and they are definitely loud. They're going to lift their team today, I feel.
So let me tell you who the starting 7 are for both our teams today. Gibraltar first, goal shooter Truman Davis, goal attack Garrow, wing attack Perkis Gallen, their captain Hernandez in at centre, wing defence Pozo, goal defence McQuiston, and in at goalkeeper Hartman. The coach for Gibraltar is Joel Marino. And for Ireland, their starting lineup this morning, goal shooter Simon, the captain, Hughes in at goal attack, wing attack Eaton, centre Redman, Hart wing defence, Stingemore goal defence, and goalkeeper Hayes. Coach for Ireland is Emma Wall. And I can also tell you the umpires for game 10 from 10 this weekend. Megan Samuel, Katie Saunders, and the reserve umpire Catriona Mills.
And as you can see, the goalkeeper for Ireland running on now, she will also be very instrumental in this game. She holds her nerve, she reads the ball extremely well. She should be getting some good interceptions.
So we know this game has the silver medal here at stake this weekend. Gibraltar to get the play underway.
And there we go, straight up for wing attack, good interception by her.
So both teams will be feeling the nerves here. Hernandez. Truman Davis, long pop. Not going to fall for her, so Ireland have an opportunity.
Always dangerous throwing it into the circle. If there's an interception, then there's an immediate chance for the shooters.
Right,
as a coach, I'm always saying, don't throw it into the circle.
Great intercept there, or just finding it difficult. The ball in the circle, great pressure by Ireland.
A few nerves, I feel, just settling down. Both teams just got to settle a little bit.
So we see Ireland popping their captain Simon in at goal shooter. She's played goal attack most of this tournament. Hughes in. We'll take first blood.
And the drums are going mad behind us. It could be a match against the supporters here, I feel.
Great hands there by McQuiston.
What I noticed is yesterday the Irish goal shooter was actually playing goal attack, and we were commenting on that game, and we said that she'd lost her nerve a little bit, and her shooting, which was amazing on day one, wasn't so good day two. She's now in a goal shooter for today. Let's hope she can really pop those balls back in.
So neither team settling. Great reverse tip there by McQuiston. Great timing on her jump. Making sure they take the ball, listen to the umpire. Difficult to hear what the umpire's saying.
Yep. It's all on the hand signals today, I think. There we go.
So, Republic of Ireland, 2-0. Gibraltar centre pass. Garrow looking for the long shot.
Yes.
That'll lift their confidence.
Always helps getting the first goal in.
So remember, if you are joining us here in sunny Gibraltar, please send Joe and I your messages. #NEU17 challenge, and we will do our best to read them out. Janice Marino.
Lovely interception by the centre there.
And the shoot supporting the girls here for Gibraltar.
Yes. It looks like she's back.
So Simon really pleased to put that one away. 3-1. Important that both sides score of the centre passes.
No, offside by the wing attack.
Gallen. Seen a lot of footwork this weekend.
It's been an
Joe,
incredible
haven't
amount
we?
of footwork from all the teams. It's not something I would have expected at this level to be seeing quite so much of.
So what can Garrow do?
The Irish won that tussle.
So both teams taking a few minutes to settle down. 4 minutes gone. It is 3-1 to Ireland here against Gibraltar. Last game of the event, game 10.
The shooter's holding her space beautifully. Oh, bad luck. That was not a great feed into the circle there.
But immediately responded, put pressure on Gibraltar, bringing the ball out, wins a throw-in for her side. Just
That's the nerves telling.
Yeah, misunderstanding there. Hernandez.
Just didn't quite get her distance before she put her hands up.
Outside the circle. So we see Sive Stingemore in there for Ireland to go defence. We know her coaches at Cranley School in Surrey are watching, so a warm welcome and hello to Sally McLaughlin, former England under-21 player, and Sean Broad. We hope you're enjoying the game here. It's very tight, very exciting. 3-2, nothing between these two sides here.
It looks like we might have a match on our hands.
We suspected that at the beginning, didn't we?
We did.
Yep. Great hands there, just judged to have contacted and Quiston coming round. So Hughes steps in.
Keeper didn't quite get back fast enough from that pass. It gave away the penalty.
Picked up by McQuiston.
She's a tall goal defence, so the Irish have really got to jump high to get those rebounds.
Nice into Garrow and interchange.
Nice
pass. Curtis Gallen, Truman Davis.
Yes.
And there is nothing between these two sides. 6 minutes gone, 3-all.
That was good build-up by the Gibraltar team there before that goal.
Great drive by Garrow, giving the options.
Lovely
shot. 4-3, Gibraltar lead. Ireland centre pass. Important they score now, Joe.
It is important they score. They've got to keep in the game. If they let Gibraltar go off too far ahead, then their confidence will come up. The Irish's will diminish. It's all about playing with confidence. Keep the nerves, play with confidence like that. Beautiful into the circle.
So Simon. Oh, she's just not quite getting the weight of the ball right, is she? Lots of pressure out there. 4-all.
She's just throwing it a little bit flat. I don't think there's enough spin on it.
Well held by Pozo. So competitive. Every ball's
being fought for.
Which is what you'd expect at this level.
Yes, you would.
Hayes could have come round with the reverse side there. So penalty, which Truman Davis says thank you. 5-4. When these two teams played in October, there was 3 goals between them. So this looks like we're going to have a similar match today.
It could be a game. Well, I hope we do, because it's always more exciting when you have a close match. You know, interesting defensive technique there by the goal defence, holding on to the goalkeeper so she could lean much further into the mark.
Replaying the ball, Curtis Gallen, so 5-all. They're going to want to come back quickly here, Gibraltar, get the interception. You see both Gibraltar defences pushing their players out, forcing them to come forward for the ball. Taking their time.
Someone needs to come forward.
Yeah, great pressure by Ireland.
We've seen this a few times. If the players don't come forward to receive the ball, and they're running away from the ball, and that's when the defence just fly in and get the interception. Contact by the centre.
Where's the space? So Tim Luddy, good to have you with us watching the netball here. Hope you're enjoying it. It's a really competitive game. 5-all, 6 minutes left until our first quarter time.
Right, the Irish need to come back with a goal now on their centre pass. I have noticed twice now that the centre's not seeing that the goal attack is coming out and is actually free for those centre passes. She's looking for the wing attack each time, who has actually been double marked, which means she's not free for those centres.
So Hughes taking the front drive. Great rebound by Simon.
Nice lean again. Well played.
What a game. 6-all with just 5 minutes to go.
Been nice to finish on a really tight game. It's been an amazing tournament for good netball. We've had some really tight games, and to finish on one would be just the epitome of a good tournament.
That was fantastic vision there. Great drive by Garrow. We're going goal for goal. Centre pass to centre pass.
It is, well, that's how it should be.
Just too much there. Breeson. Footwork called.
Again.
Again. It's the late takeoff, I think, every time,
every
isn't
time.
it? Goodbye, Simon. Levels this game 7-all.
Nice take. That was well seen by the centre there.
Redman getting a hand there and just came off the Gibraltar centre. So throw into Ireland.
Good contact there. Just inching the ball slowly up the court at the moment. Oh, off court. What bad luck.
They've got to watch those aerial balls, Gibraltar. Yeah. Ireland looking to come out for the flying interceptions.
It's the aerial balls that let Gibraltar down. They're easily intercepted. It seems to be when they're under pressure, they revert back to just doing aerial balls, which are slow in the air, easy for the defence to pick up.
Schumann Davis disappointed with that call. You can see the pressure these players are under.
Yeah. Goal shooter getting just a little bit rattled there.
Going to keep her calm. Better transition by Ireland, but still using the sideline so much, not really using the width of the court.
Which gives them no room for error at all.
Max Hughes doesn't need a second opportunity there. Their centre pass, Ireland one ahead.
Ireland just need to keep their cool.
Great pressure by McQuiston. Hartman.
Contact obstruction by the goalkeeper.
So 9-7, Ireland lead. Gibraltar going to want to score off the centre pass, really struggling to get.
They're just getting a little bit rattled. In actual fact, as a coach, it's one of the things you say, if you can keep calm against Gibraltar, then you stand a good chance of beating them.
Footwork call by against Hernandez. Just hands before feet. That discipline required. Yeah. 3 feet, then hands up to that face too.
It's a hard one.
It's marginal, but it is those marginal differences.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, really didn't put the ball in the right place there.
Well read, though, by the wing defence.
Come on, Pozo. 1 minute left on the clock for this quarter. Lucky to keep that one in, Gibraltar. Foot not up on the line, not permitted. Just those
tiny
little bit
ones.
of attention to detail, isn't it?
They're going to make all the difference.
So still 2 in it, just over 30 seconds to go.
An improper throw at this level with your foot not up to the line is actually unforgivable, really. You've got the time to take to make sure your feet are in the right place.
.15 seconds.
get the shot.
And she'll score. So composure by Simon means that at the first break, Ireland head to the benches, 3 ahead, 10-7.
And the Gibraltar team looking on that shot just then, the Gibraltar supporters not looking too happy at the moment. They need to now try and lift their team. And as we said, it's a tight game.
And I think if we added up the number of unforced errors just by Gibraltar in those last few minutes, the turnover ball they've given, lack of capitalising when they do get the turnover, foot not up to the line, all stuff that just shouldn't be happening at this level.
No, it shouldn't be happening at this level, and if they hadn't been making those unforced errors, they would actually be in the lead at this point. Hopefully the coaches will look back at maybe this feed and see what they can do to just control those nerves a little bit more. They're just getting a little bit tense, and therefore they're not thinking of the basics. And therefore they're making the errors, and therefore they are 3 goals down at this point.
So we will see if either side, with the closeness of this game, decides to make any substitutions. Will be interesting.
I think if I was on their bench at the moment, I would leave it as it is, just to let them settle down a little bit more. We know that they can play an exceptionally good game of netball, and therefore I think give them a chance to just come back on, listen to what their coaches are telling them at this time, and come on and see if they can just settle those nerves a little bit.
So talking of nerves, we saw Switzerland take to the court in the last game against the Isle of Man. 5-0 to the Isle of Man in that first quarter before we saw Switzerland respond 6-5 and then moved ahead and closed out the game quite considerably in the end, 50-29.
And that was pure nerves at the beginning. The girls came out, they looked a different team to they had the other 3 games, where their composure had been there from the start. They were dropping the balls, there was footwork, their nerves were really, really showing. They knew the significance of the game, and their nerves really told in that first 5 minutes. But they composed themselves. They are an extremely good team together, those girls. They're a very close-knit team. They listened to their coaches, from who I imagine were shouting at them from the sidelines. I could see a few times glancing over. And they pulled themselves together. They talked to each other, and then they pulled away. It shows a good team.
So we will see how the quarter-time talk from the coaches goes, what impact they have, whether they make any changes to any of their lineup. But it is at this moment in time Republic of Ireland leading by 10-7 against our host Gibraltar. But what an event's been this weekend. And
it's been a superb event. It's a superb venue. It's a beautiful court for the girls to play on. We've had the sunshine outside, which is lovely. Gibraltar, our host Gibraltar, have really hosted an exceptionally good event, and all credit to them, and a big thank you from all the teams that have arrived today or this weekend to take part.
And as always with these events, Joe, the preparation, looking forward to getting here, and then in a blink of an eye, here we are.
It's all
game
gone.
10 of 10, and we're seeing what will be the decider for that silver medal here at the Netball Europe U17 Challenge event.
Yeah, and Gibraltar presumably have been organising and planning this event for probably well over a year. They've been working extremely hard to get to be able to host the event as well as they have hosted it. And as you say, blink of an eye, we're all done, dusted, and everyone's going back on their planes tonight. But thank you very much to Gibraltar Netball for hosting such a good event.
It has been amazing, and I'm sure there'll be lots of thanks their way later on today. So the teams are retaking the court here. There has been some changes by Gibraltar, so you can see that Pozo has now gone to centre. Hernandez is back at wing defence.
Nice hold there by the goal attack, so she wing attack could just pop the ball into her.
Hughes takes a chance, 11-7. Gibraltar do now. Good angles by Hayes there, just giving Truman Davis nowhere to go. She's been really effective all weekend.
She's been extremely effective all weekend.
better feed in.
The goalkeeper jumping in. It's always the risk when your keeper jumps rather than just marks with the lean, is that they land within that 3-foot mark and therefore they give away the penalty.
So Gibraltar pull one back, keeping the gap to 3, 11-8 here. A little bit of talk between the wing attack centre for Ireland. I sometimes wonder, is it easier to be ahead or easier to be chasing? The psychological difference of the two is really...
I think it's always easier to be ahead. But yes, I mean, you work harder when you're behind if you know to push on, but I think overall I'd rather be ahead than behind.
So Zamet being called for contact there, stepping into a player. Come on at wing attack for Gibraltar.
Replayed ball there.
Not clear for the players hearing the umpire. Not surprising with the noise of the crowd here. These two teams very well supported.
We're sitting here with headphones on and it's still deafening.
So Hughes, 14-8. Again, ball being forced back. Contact by Zamet.
She called for that ball, but then didn't take it cleanly.
Nice
a little
release.
delay on the Irish releasing the ball. Nice drive out. Yes.
So as you can see,
That was a well-deserved ball.
Garrow back at goal shooter for Gibraltar. Good pressure there. 3 in it.
Irish have got to settle themselves back down again. There's been a few wild throws.
Less perhaps seeing playing of advantage in this game consistently.
Yes.
Ozo really got nowhere to go.
Just a bit all over the place this last couple of minutes, the Irish. You just need to bring it back to how they were playing before they came off the end of the first quarter.
So Gibraltar successfully pull one back, their centre pass. 2 in it, 12-10. Just got to be careful with those aerial balls. They haven't got the height advantage there. Nice pop by Garrow. It squeaks in. 12-11. They all count.
That's all that they do. They're coming back. Just keep possession, just settle it back down again.
Simon.
Oh, bad luck. Nearly kept in by the goal attack. Again, that was one of those delayed takeoff footworks. Oops.
Flow of the game, just a little bit sticky at the moment.
Just too much contact.
Off the post. Will be a pass. Pass on court. It's got to be a pass. Yeah. It was the correct call by the umpire. You can't use the post in that way. So Hughes.
The umpires have got to settle this down a bit now. It's getting a bit confusing.
The clarity needed. Well played by Hartman there. Just getting a little bit scrappy.
Yeah, it is.
And I think that's the importance of this game, Joe. All the players realise what's at stake out there. They've given their heart and soul in this tournament. Absolutely desperate to come out the right side.
And they're all slightly tired because they've been playing very intense games for 3 days, and that's when you've really got to dig deep and keep it calm, try and keep possession.
So if we look at these teams now, Gibraltar have 2 wins out of 3, Ireland 1 out of 3, Isle of Man 2 out of 4. They've completed their campaign.
Yeah.
So if Ireland do beat Gibraltar, those 3 teams are all on 2 out of 4 games. It will come down to goal difference.
Goal difference or goal average to start with?
Oh, don't ask me.
I know.
That's what I leave Maggie Jackson to do.
We have a mathematician in our parents' supporters, and she's been doing calculation after calculation. I think,
well, luckily Switzerland didn't need that.
We didn't need it, thank goodness. I think it's goal average first, which is the amount of goals scored divided by the amount of goals conceded.
Great pressure by Ireland there. So 12-11, and we've only got 8.5 minutes left now of this quarter. I think the coaches for both teams are going to say just need to clean it up a bit, too much contact. Great defence there by Gibraltar.
Nice take. It's a good feed into the circle.
Great space. So 13-11. Gibraltar centre pass.
The Irish supporters are getting very, very excited.
Get it forward. Another opportunity for Ireland. Yeah, hands before feet.
Nice vision into the circle there. That was a good pass.
Good cut by Hughes.
Irish heads are just going up a little bit. They're feeling a little bit more sort of, saying that, I should have not said a word.
Umpire indicating one way and then changing her mind.
It's not going to go down well with the Gibraltar supporters.
No, I can understand that. I think we really do need some clarity here. Difficult because, as we know, so many split-second decisions in a competitive game of this nature.
You have a lot of things to be thinking about all at the same time, but when the game gets a little scrappy like this, really we have to look at the umpires to take control of the game and make sure they make very clear decisions. If necessary, telling the players to calm down a little bit. It's the goal shooter there missing a couple. She just needs to bend her knees a little bit more. She was a little bit too flat. Nice jump. Oh, bad luck. Again, late takeoff on there. She did the split jump, but in actual fact, she lifted both feet. Right, let's see what Gibraltar can do with this ball. We've got to try and keep possession, run forward. Good. That's better.
So it is all about possession, working the ball to the edge of the circle. Ireland do have the height advantage in there. Nice finding Garrow.
Sometimes when you have the height disadvantage in the circle to do those little bounce passes along the floor, it fools your taller goalkeeper, which is exactly what happened on that last pass.
The Irish centre was offside then. Good hands by Hayes, such a critical intercept for Ireland.
That's what we were just saying. The umpires just need to settle it down, take control. Little words with the players every now and again.
So it's still only 3 in it. It's been a really, really low scoring quarter so far. I don't think Gibraltar have actually scored this quarter.
No, I think you're right. I don't think they have.
12-11 at quarter time. We've only seen 2 goals by the Republic in 10 minutes of play.
No, that's
just astonishing.
That is just astonishing. That's well, that just shows it's actually just turned into a bit of a scrappy game at this precise moment.
So whichever team is going to take control of this game could be the ones who emerge 60 minutes.
Third quarter is often the key quarter in any match. Be interesting to see what happens.
Come on! Frustrating to watch.
It is frustrating to watch. It's not flowing. We know they can both play better than this.
Gibraltar pressure being a home side. Footwork again.
It was, and then thrown away.
And Zamet head in her hands, rightly so.
Well understood. But then now the Irish have to give some nice passes so their teammates are catching the ball. The last footwork was purely because it was a tough pass to catch, which was unnecessary. There we go.
Much better control, composed.
And well deserved.
So, 15-11. Astonishingly 3-0 this quarter.
That is astonishing.
That's great discipline by Hayes on her angles. Perkins Gallant is not able to put that ball in.
And that was actually the Gibraltar wing attack taking out the Gibraltar goal attack then. It was a total lack of communication.
What can Garrow do? Can they
yes.
score? They can.
They can. Good.
3 in it, 15-12. Ireland lead their centre pass.
They're just not running into the space. They're not just throwing. The balls aren't being thrown strong enough.
They're not seeing the options there. Better.
They're not.
Hernandez, the captain, looking. Forced to pass back. Gibraltar really aren't getting any options there. It's good defence by Ireland. Garrow giving an option. Strong drive. What can she do? Oh, doesn't quite fall for her.
The goalkeeper is good on the rebounds. Not many she doesn't get a tap to or a can't to.
Okay, Zamet picked up that intercept.
There's too much contact. There's too many players going down on the ground.
So, McQuiston, they've got to give an option. Come forward. They're all running away from the ball. So, we've got just over 2.5 minutes left. An astonishing 3-1 score in this quarter so far.
I'm sort of speechless, really. It is an incredibly low scoring game. See, the goal attack is running straight. She's running too flat. She's not running her angles, but they're passing the ball to her anyway, which the defence are just taking it, getting the tip.
They're not seeing the court. So Hernandez is captain. What can she do? Find Zamet. Better by Gibraltar and sees the clean option
nice vision
into Garrow. Much better by Gibraltar.
Yes, and that was a deserved goal. It was much better working the ball around the circle, looking forward.
So 15-13. Here come Gibraltar again. Can they maintain this momentum?
It is good defending by the Irish.
It's very tough out there. Forced to put the ball up. Perkins Gallant.
And then she gave it away. They've got to run forward. I can see nobody really coming forward to receive these balls. She's got no options there.
And that was footwork.
And that was a totally unforced footwork.
So Zamet finds Hernandez, Pozo. Got to come forward. They're looking for Garrow.
Yes, nice pass.
Oh. There's the advantage.
Yeah.
Great timed rebound by Gibraltar.
Gibraltar are coming back into the game.
15-14. It's been a slog, I think it's fair to say.
Yep. Lovely pass.
Finding Hughes. Great shot by her.
That was good. That was good teamwork by those shooters. Oh. Wing attack's been getting a little bit rattled on the Gibraltar side for a while. Not quite sure what happened there.
I think it's Gibraltar ball. The umpire is indicating it's Gibraltar's.
It's just
Ireland
Really reactive. They've got to move the ball. So, what do you think of that quarter?
Wow, as the two teams take to the bench at half-time, 16 plays 14, but it's hard to really see what happened there, apart from scrappy play. 4-3 that quarter, which is just, at this level, you wonder what the coaches now need to say to these players to get some movement, some drive, some speed, some energy into the game. It's all got a bit clogged down in the middle, Joe.
It's got completely clogged down. The Gibraltar team are getting very, very rattled. You can see the sort of their faces, and they're getting frustrated with the Irish defence. They're getting frustrated that they can't get the ball through, and because they're getting frustrated, they're actually they're forcing bad passes. They're causing a lot of contact, which then in turn is making them frustrated, it's a vicious downward spiral. The Irish have, their defence is excellent, but they're not coming forward for the ball. So when they're on the attack, there's no one to pass the ball to because there's no one coming forward. They're driving out on straight lines rather than angles. So it's easy for the Gibraltars to get a tip to the ball. The coaches have got a lot of talking to do in this half-time, I think. It's a good job it's half-time and they've got a few more minutes to actually talk to their teams.
Well, let's bring you some of the action here from this first half in what has been an incredibly tight game. Enjoy it and we'll see you back in a minute. So we are back here at the Tercentenary Sports Hall in Gibraltar for what is proving a really interesting last game here. We are seeing the screen 16-14, Republic of Ireland against Gibraltar. Really kind of scrappy quarter, 4-3 in that quarter. We have been made aware that there will be some changes for Gibraltar. Truman Davis coming back on now, goal attack. Garrow staying at goal shooter and wing attack row. So we're probably not surprised about that change, Joe.
We're not surprised about those changes. We were saying that the wing attack needed to come off. She was getting a little bit rattled and needs to have a little bit more calm in that centre threesome now. And as you said, the goal shooter, goal attack in that first quarter were playing a good team. The coaches changed them around and then they've put it back, which I think is the right decision. Hard sometimes for the coaches sitting on the bench, getting emotionally involved in the game, to see sometimes as clearly as maybe we can sitting here without any emotion in the game.
I feel quite emotional. I don't know about you. So as we were saying, if you look at the way the weekend's unfolded so far, we know Switzerland have taken the gold. Gibraltar have 2 out of 3 wins so far. Isle of Man have closed out with 2 out of 4. Ireland have 1 out of 3. So this game literally will decide potentially who goes home with the silver medal today.
So if Gibraltar win today, they will go home with the silver.
Correct.
If Ireland win today, as you said, then we go down to this goal average. This is where we need our statistician mathematicians to work it all out. And I'm sure the team managers or the coaches have got it worked out what they need to be doing. I'm sure the Irish know exactly that they have to win this game and then get as many goals as they possibly can. So as I said earlier, the goal average is done when you score. You take your goals that you've scored and divide it by the goals that you've conceded. And at the end of that, if it's then still equal, we'll then look at goal difference.
So it was quite an amazing quarter, 4-3 to Ireland.
I've never seen such a low scoring quarter in a game of this standard.
So what do you think these two teams need to do?
Well, I think Gibraltar need to come back and be calm and play the game that we know that they can play, that we've seen them play this time. They got very rattled, as I said, with the Irish defence, who were actually going on to doing a bit more sort of zone marking rather than man-on-man marking, and the Gibraltar team are finding it quite hard to get through that zoning. That's where the players are taking a side of the part of the court each and just keeping defending that side of the court. And then the Irish, as I said, have actually just got to get running forward for the ball, making some really good determined drives, making it easier for the person with the ball to pass it.
So we will shortly be bringing you the results of this game back. I'm just trying to look back through the games that have been played so far this weekend to see if there is any way we can...
So we're going to do the maths now, are we, Lynn?
Well, you are, Joe, I'm not.
No, I'm not. At that point, anybody who knows me would have laughed when you said I'm doing the maths. Get my calculator out, we'll see what we can do. But... right, they're coming back on court now, and we can see whether we can work out what the coaches have said to the teams. It will have been crucial at this point that the coaches gave the team some really tough talking to, and given them some direction and some tips on how to pick up the scores, get those balls down into the circle. It's no good if they can't get the ball into the circle and they can't get the goals in. It doesn't matter what they do on court if they can't actually get that ball into the circle. So here we go.
So we will bring you the
straight
official
away. They throw that centre away.
Substitutions. Not a particularly settled start by Ireland there on their centre pass. Good pressure by Gibraltar. We see that combination still, McQuiston and Hartman at the back. They've got to release the ball. They're going to get pulled for 3 seconds. So we see Garrow now out at goal attack, and Truman Davis back on at goal shooter for Gibraltar.
Garrow's definitely more effective at out as goal attack.
But unfortunately the ball didn't quite fall for them.
Right, they've got to settle this down, the
looked
Irish.
to me to be a bit of a late take-off
I think
there.
it was. Right, where are the shooters? Nobody's in the circle. Oh, there you go.
Simon, nice pop underhand to Hughes.
Good shot. Nice control. Took a breath, calmed herself down and scored the goal. Nice, that was nice play by Gibraltar. It was straight down the court. Given away, contact. So the Irish now got it again coming down the court. That was a good back pass. And again, though, the Irish are they're not driving out at an angle, they're driving flat, which is giving the Gibraltars the tips.
So again, we're still seeing some of that lack of consistency by both teams here.
And then quickly into the shooter. Yes, there you go.
Second time of asking. Good cut on the baseline by Simon. Didn't quite fall for her.
What's your opinion on this goalkeeper holding the goal defence so that she can do the lean a bit more? I know it's allowed in the rules. I'm not quite sure what I think of it.
It's interesting, isn't it, when you're watching the goalkeeper and goal defence for Gibraltar play together at club level, so they're used to doing it. It's to allow the player to have that little bit of a lean further beyond their own natural
it stops
centre
them
of gravity.
falling into the 3-foot mark. I tend to think it's a little bit against the spirit of the game. I know it's allowed. I'm not sure I like it. Nice defending by the wing defence there. She wasn't allowing any option of getting the ball into the circle. Oh, and she's going to pick it up well.
So a little bit surprised about that.
Quite sure what happened there.
I've just tried to look at the maths in terms of the goal difference, and I know that may not be the way we look at it, but Isle of Man have finished with a goal difference, a positive of 14. Ireland at the moment, not including this game against Gibraltar, have a goal difference of +6, but Gibraltar have a goal difference of +36.
So they're way ahead.
So they are way ahead.
Yeah.
So unless Ireland beat them considerably in this game, if Ireland do take the win, and you can take me out and shoot me afterwards.
It looks like at the moment
Gibraltar
will be second.
might be second based on their performance so far in this tournament overall. So 17-16, we have a really close game here between these two teams. Ireland leading by the slimmest of margins by 1 goal, 17-16.
I'm not sure who that ball was to. So I'm not sure what the Gibraltar coaches did say to their players, but whatever they said seems to have worked. They've come out stronger, calmer, and they're actually playing netball again.
So they've got to listen to the umpire. Oh, handling area again. We know there may be some tired legs out there. Great tip there by Truman Davis. Both teams, both players competitive. Rowe winning the ball for Gibraltar.
Centre's not happy with that one, the Irish centre, not happy with that decision.
And did you see Hernandez then just indicating, calm it down, keep possession.
It's very difficult at this age to keep calm under pressure to the same extent. It's something you learn as you get older. They're still learning it.
Garrow, strong lift. And what an important shot.
Absolutely.
For that young player. Takes this game now 17-all. 10 minutes left until 3/4 time. You'd be forgiven if you've just joined us for thinking it was the first quarter.
You would.
The score of 17-all, but I can confirm we are in the third quarter.
It's going to probably be the lowest scoring game of the entire tournament, I think.
Oh my goodness.
There we go.
So great play by Ireland, 18-17, Gibraltar Centre.
There's another warning to the Irish wing attack.
Was that a caution or a warning? I couldn't see.
I'm not quite sure. I think it was a warning, but...
Yep, it did come off. Pozo, so the umpire quite correct in awarding the throw-in to Ireland. They lead by 1 here. Absolutely nothing between these two sides.
That was, I think, an unforced footwork again, was it?
I think these two teams have just got to keep concentrating. That's not going to help. So well picked up by Redmond.
They've also got to listen to the umpires. They're not really listening. So when there's an umpire is making a call, they're not really sure what's going on. That's a nice tip
by Hernandez. So Redmond will bring it in. I know her parents are here this weekend, been supporting this Irish team.
That was a nice ball across the circle.
Much better by Ireland using the triangles.
The contact there, so the Irish will get a penalty.
Simon.
Nice. Nice and calm under pressure.
Great intercepting by Hernandez. He's got no options. Offside. So umpire giving a caution for persistent offside by Redmond, centre for Ireland.
With a hand on the hip, you can tell she's not impressed.
It's amazing watching the body language, isn't it?
Exactly.
Poker face is really important. Game face on.
It's hard for those teenage girls.
So row back up. 19-18. Truman Davis.
And the crowd behind us is seriously getting into this match.
We can understand it, but we would want both of the supporters to be supportive
Absolutely.
and recognise the good play from both.
Exactly.
Personally, I don't like hearing booing from the crowd. I don't think it's appropriate.
I don't like it at all. At any game, in any sport, the spectators have got to be respectful for both teams and be respectful for the umpires as well.
Absolutely.
And booing at any level, but you're booing a 14, 15-year-old girl here.
I mean, thankfully, many of our young role models and athletes are resilient, and hopefully we'll be able to play. Well kept on there. Fortunately didn't fall for Gibraltar, but here come Ireland. Redmond.
No options.
They are struggling to find the ball. Simon.
It's just a little messy getting into that circle. The Gibraltar defence are doing a good job at the moment.
So 19 all.
Oh, lovely interception.
Great
That was nice.
interception.
Now, where are her options?
By Hart. Well held by Hughes. Nice play.
Yeah.
Just got to bring her arm down. The goal defence.
Lovely goal
by Hughes. 2019 now. 6 minutes left until three-quarter time.
Was that an advanced penalty? What was that?
Not sure, but that's not going to go anywhere.
That was too easy to read, that one. They're gifts for the defenders,
Look
those
for the
sort of
next ball.
balls.
Nobody's looking for the next ball. They take a pass and then move it on. Late take
Like
off.
that,
2019 here, Joe. 5 minutes to go.
yeah. My nerves are getting a bit to me now.
So Gibraltar actually winning this quarter at this moment in time, 5-4.
Still low scoring.
Very.
Lovely goal. She's good at those putting those goals in from the distance.
So Ireland 2-goal gap. Nice tip there by Rowe.
It was a nice tip, but there was actually she had nowhere to throw it to, the Irish. There was no one coming forward to get that ball. I seem to be repeating
They're
myself
all
here
just
at the
standing
moment.
waiting. They've got to move, drive, 2 options. And Redmond says thank you.
Exactly. They're nice interceptions, but they're nice interceptions because the balls that are being passed are not good enough. So what have we got now?
So it's Gibraltar bringing Zamet back on. She's coming on at centre. Interesting substitution.
Yeah.
So Simon looking for Hughes.
So just explain that rule to me again. So you can only come off if you have an injury. Is that correct?
Correct. So I think the umpire there was making sure she asked for Pozo to clarify why she was indicating. She did say she was injured, and there's that. The new rules allowed the umpire to assess the situation quickly and make that decision, but they have to get off the court quickly if they're going to do that.
So the coaches had seen that the centre was injured, got their substitution ready, and then it went from there. I seem to be struggling with that new rule.
You know, at times it does look like it's almost a rolling substitution.
Yes, exactly,
interpretation
it does. That one
of
looks
the role.
very much like a rolling substitution. The new sub had her bibs on and everything was ready to go.
So 22 plays 20, Ireland ahead by 2. Hughes makes it 3. Great passage of play by Ireland. They're just nosing ahead now.
And as soon as they get their throws right, then they're playing a really good game of netball. They're actually managing to convert those into goals. Just got to keep it going.
Gibraltar are resorting to the high ball again, Joe.
As soon as they're under pressure, it's what they do. Right, see, that's much better. Coming forward to receive the ball, driving on an angle, and it works. Throw it.
Good defence there by Hartman and McQuiston.
Oh dear.
Simon's down. Is she okay?
Doesn't look much.
She really indicated quickly. No, she looks like she's twisted her ankle.
Yeah.
Oh, we wish her luck. She's coming off. She's been instrumental for Ireland, captain and shooting. Let's hope she's okay.
Let's hope she is, because that's a hard one for Ireland.
Hughes again.
That's a good idea to pop the ball over to the new goal shooter, let her try a shot, give her a bit of confidence.
So Fisher on now to replace
Simon. Good teamwork by the goal attack there.
24 plays 20, Ireland centre pass. We've got under 2 minutes now until three-quarter time. Pressure by Gibraltar.
Got to take the knocks in that circle.
It's competitive,
it
for sure.
Really is.
Well responded.
Now had a good game, that goal attack for the Irish team.
She has. Hughes has been instrumental for them. They've now got a 5-goal lead. That could prove decisive here.
Gibraltar goal at centre, just taking a little bit too long to step into the circle there to take that centre pass.
Lovely feed there into the circle to Truman Davis. Gibraltar pull one back. 25-21. Last few seconds, last minute.
That was well read by the Gibraltar goal defence.
And McQuiston's been great all tournament.
Yeah, she has. There's nowhere to throw the ball to. There's nobody free. There you go. Well done.
Hughes holding a strong position in the circle. Better defence there by Gibraltar. Didn't give away a penalty. They've got to make meaningful and purposeful drives.
Yeah, they have. And
it's all a bit pedestrian, Joe.
It's very pedestrian. There's no meaningful drives going on at all, really. I mean, every girl out there is giving 100%.
So there we go. The end of this third quarter in what is proving a really challenging game. 25-21. Ireland are in the lead against host Gibraltar. They'll be pleased with how they
completed that quarter there.
They will. They won that quarter. You're all keeping the scores there, did they? They actually won that quarter. They played a good game. They still need to be driving more out on an angle. They're still not giving each other the best possible chances. But it was... So we're going to have some substitutions again, I think, from both teams this time.
Yeah, we saw in the last few minutes of that quarter Gibraltar putting Perkis Gallen back on at wing attack, Rowe going to the bench, and we saw Fisher coming on for Ireland. It's the only change Ireland have made, interestingly.
They have.
And I was just going to work out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 11 changes so far for Gibraltar in this game. Interesting.
Interesting. From the way you've written it on your board, the changes you've written there look and reflect the way Gibraltar are actually playing as well. It's all a little bit manic. I'm not sure that's a technical term in netball, but that's how it's feeling. The Irish, as you say, they've made their one change, and only because of the injury. They're just playing a little bit calmer. In some ways, they actually need to be maybe a little bit more pushy and more determined to get out and make those drives. Well, Gibraltar just need to calm it down, just think a little bit more of what they're actually doing.
So that quarter was a 9-7 victory to Ireland. So that's contributed to them being now 4 goals up in this game. All very close.
Very close. It's very close. You can see the Gibraltar girls there on the screen really concentrating hard on what their coach is saying, giving them some clues of what to do on the next and final quarter.
So will Gibraltar be able to come back and support this team? We see a bit of a Mexican wave going on there by all the parents. The man at the front there obviously loves what he's doing.
Getting it organised.
So 25-21. If Ireland do take this game, it will go down to the difference of goal average versus goal difference versus
one of those, which we think is going to be Gibraltar.
So far, it looks like it might be. They do have the better goal difference so far, and even with a 4-goal deficit, they are still going to be in a stronger position than the other two teams at this moment in time. Unless my maths is completely horrendous. I did do it for mental arithmetic.
You did.
So
I was very
now.
impressed. There was no calculator to be seen. Of course, when we go to goal average, though, we'll actually, because you're dividing by, I'm not sure actually, working it out on the goal average, it might not be quite so clear cut.
It might not be. We should wait and see.
We'll have to wait and see on that one, because that's not a mental arithmetic thing for us, is it? We're going to stick to the talking about it.
So here we go, the last 15 minutes of the last game of 10 here in Gibraltar for the Netball Europe U17 Challenge event.
And let's hope we have the best quarter of this game to finish on a high.
Let's hope so.
It's a nice drive by the centre there.
Truman Davis, just looking for better position. Pops over to Garrow. So
it's a good strong start by Gibraltar.
Much cleaner, driving onto the ball. What can Ireland do? 25-22 they lead.
So no one's coming forward again. There we go, that's better. That's what they need to do.
Redmond taking responsibility for bringing the ball forward. Unlucky by Fisher, took on the responsibility of the shot. So they've got to give an option here to Menendez, looking for the question, driving. Better
there we go.
by
much better by Gibraltar.
Truman Davis.
So here we are.
25 plays 23. It is Gibraltar centre pass. Ireland just have to keep their heads
They
up,
really
keep
do.
doing what they've been doing consistently throughout the event here. Footwork called against Gibraltar.
Nice space. But again, no one to throw it to. There we go, that's the drive point.
Great front
Goal,
cut by
goal
Fisher.
attack, shouting for the ball.
So Fisher scores that one to give the Republic of Ireland a very narrow cushion of 3 goals, 26-23.
The goal shooter is trying to call time over there. The Irish goal shooter is trying to attract the attention of the umpire. But as the ball is actually not in her third at the moment, the umpires aren't going to listen to her for the time being. She's got to carry on calling for time when the ball comes towards her, so she can go off.
That's right, Joe. So what can they do here? Ireland marking the front ball really effectively there, forcing the shooter and goal attack to come forward, which Truman Davis does really well. Nice. So now the umpire allowing a change. So Fisher back off. Simon, their captain, returning to court, had some treatment. So Fisher being substituted for an injury, I would hope.
I'm assuming so. Not a lot of treatment going on over there, though.
Ireland need to look for some options forward.
There we go, Santi came out, but not determined enough. That was a nice ball.
Hartman almost getting the interception, but really good hold by Simon. Back on. Putting it up. Doesn't quite fall for her.
The Irish get a contact.
But getting the second one.
Not being able to convert it, that's a shame. We're given a free option there.
So how is this game going to end? 26-24. Ireland in a 2-goal lead. 11 minutes to go.
Predictions?
I'm all out of predictions after 10 games, Joe, today.
Yeah, I'm not sure we can predict on this one. I think we should sit on the fence a little bit more.
I do think it is literally going to come down to which team holds the nerves.
I absolutely think so.
Limits the number of unforced errors.
However, I am impressed how the Gibraltar team have come out in this fourth quarter.
They
are
much calmer, much more purposeful.
Yeah.
And it's proving rewarding for them. 26-25.
Much stronger in this half, this quarter. Nice dodge by the wing defence there.
Yeah, Hernandez played a really strong captain role for Gibraltar throughout this event. Got to do something. That is going to be over a third.
Should have
The
been.
umpire didn't see it.
Should have been over a
So
third.
we'll gloss over that.
On those, that's a shame, but that's the way it goes sometimes.
The way the cookie crumbles in
Indeed.
netball, you play to the umpire.
Yeah.
Nobody in the game, be it an umpire or a player, is perfect, and you respond to what you see in front of you.
Absolutely, you do. And as a player, you just have to go with it, and which the Irish team have done very well.
So 26-all. Garrow takes Gibraltar into the lead now.
And the crowd are looking quite excited about that one. Right, Ireland have really got to hold their nerve now.
They have played tremendously well, this young Irish side, all weekend. They should feel very proud of how they've come out in these games.
Should have been an advantage call. It's clearly advantage, the ball was in the circle.
So Simon,
Nice
great
drive.
pop. Hughes driving the back line.
Yes.
So,
we go
27
again.
all. nerves of both sets of supporters.
Absolutely.
It's quite nice being neutral.
I'm enjoying being neutral. Earlier I was far too stressful.
Hence why you see why we don't always ask somebody from one country to commentate on their own country.
Completely agree. It would have been absolutely impossible.
So Gara looking for the long bomb, and it falls for her.
Excellent shot.
28 Gibraltar, 27 Ireland.
And suddenly we have a game again. It's looking much better from both teams. Come on. Here we go, pass it around, trying to find way into the circle. We need to go. Yes, nice vision there.
Lovely
that was good.
Feed into Hughes.
Nice.
So, great shot by Hughes.
28 all again now.
Oh my goodness, 7-3 to Gibraltar this quarter.
Yeah, well, they came out much stronger.
So Gibraltar need to come forward for the ball.
Yeah. Good vision by the Irish goalkeeper there. That unfortunately caused contact in the process.
Oh. How did Truman Davis put that one in? That's balance, looking for the pass, threw it up, and
That's
the way it
confidence
falls
for you, isn't it,
sometimes.
sometimes?
29-28.
I'll just give it a go and see.
Zamet getting called for persistent contact. Good hands by Hartman.
Actually getting another turn, trying to get it into the circle.
Offside.
You can't afford an offside at this point in the match.
Not with one goal in it,
no.
and only 7 minutes of the match remaining. Hernandez coming forward. Oh, it's going to hurt. Umpire's called time. I think everyone's waiting for each other, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
Big pick-up by Ireland there, but
and that was footwork?
It was footwork. No options.
No, how close to the edge of the line she is, having to receive that ball. Play ball,
yeah, saw that coming.
So the nerves are all coming back again. We've just had a really nice last 5 minutes of it, or 10 minutes of this game, and now suddenly it's all falling to pieces again.
Nice hands by Garrow. So Hart to bring the ball in. Right. Redmond.
Nice. Oh, that was a lovely feed. Just there.
Great shot to level this game. 29 all. Oh my goodness.
It is, oh my goodness. The girls on the court are doing extremely well, actually. We're saying it's getting a bit scrappy every now and again, but think of the pressure they're under out there. They know what's at stake.
Both teams are just disappearing though. They're not coming forward.
No,
they're not keeping offering. They're allowing the ball to go up. Aerial game just not working.
They're running away from the ball.
Hughes taking that strong position in there. Good hold by her. This could take the Republic of Ireland back into the lead with only 5 minutes to go. They lead 30-29. They're centre pass.
The Irish goal attack has been extremely instrumental in this game. I think she'd be my player's player for this game if we were voting on such a thing.
Which unfortunately they don't trust us to do.
They
here,
don't.
Jo. Great interception by Redmond. So we will find out who has been voted the player of the tournament. The coach of one team votes for their most valuable player of the opposition. Great pressure again by Hernandez. And those scores, those votes are added up over the extent of the tournament. And we will announce after this game in the presentation who has been the player of the event this weekend.
Do you have any opinions on that so far? There's been quite
so
a few,
many.
haven't there?
There have been so many really, really good quality players who've been consistent all weekend.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like to call it, to be honest.
You could pick one from each team that has stood out there.
I think we could easily. So Ireland throw in. 4 minutes remaining. So Zamet now on a warning, which means the next infringement for the same thing, she will be sent to the bench.
And that means that they will be playing with 6 players?
They would be, so not surprisingly, they brought Zamet off. I'm sure she's injured.
I'm sure she is injured.
31-29. Gibraltar was a wing attack, foot fought there. So Ireland just proving the team that can maintain their concentration in these last few minutes, keeping possession. They still need to attack the ball.
Bring it up, but bring it up in a manner where they can just hold possession, and then when they see an opening, they can get it into their circle. We don't want them forcing the ball into the circle and risking an interception at this point.
That's really clever, intelligent play by Gibraltar. Getting the rebound, unfortunately Hughes missed that. They're just standing, waiting for the ball.
Yeah.
They've got to do something.
There's been a lot of standing around on this one. There's also been quite a lot of flying tackles by the Irish centre, it has to be said.
Yeah, she's throwing her heart and soul into this game, Redman.
She really has.
Where's the options? Oh, dear. Well played. A bit messy, a bit scrappy. So can they get the ball in for an opportunity at goal? Oh, they can't.
So,
2.5 minutes to go.
So Ireland keep possession, keep it calm. Don't go down the side of the line, bring it in.
Keep possession.
Yeah, that'll do. It doesn't matter. It's all they have to do. Yeah, nice.
Nice. When the opportunity came, find the space on the court. Great play by Ireland. Hughes.
Yes. She has been consistently good.
Great shot by her. Ireland now lead by 3 goals, 32-29. Only 2 minutes left here, Joe.
Still not going to call it.
I don't think we can.
I don't think we can. We're going to have to wait for that last second. Has to be said, I am impressed how the Gibraltar team have come out this last quarter, and they have played a better game.
Garrow doesn't quite fall. Truman Davis will get penalty. So, 2 in it. And Gibraltar centre pass. Get the ball back. Goodness me.
What is... And she didn't get...
Joe and I sitting here thinking, oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
It's a penalty. Nice pop to Truman Davis. Can she score?
Obstruction by the keeper there.
Double penalty. And it sneaks in.
What a game.
Throwing my pen down on the table here.
There's been all sorts of things contributing to this game.
Can
and it's not all netball.
Get the interception. Oh, they nearly did.
Oh, and they did actually throw it
goodness.
straight to them. Oh my goodness, that could have been a very expensive mistake.
What a great, oh my gosh, Hayes taking that flying interception. 29 seconds on the clock.
Come on, they've got it. No, here we go. It's gonna. I don't even know what to say anymore.
Is it going to go in? Oh, she gets the
goodness.
penalty shot. Garrow.
It's going to go in.
Oh.
What a game.
32-all, and it is their centre pass. Do they know how long's left on the clock?
They probably don't. The clock has stopped, so they know that they're in a very short space of time.
They need to get the ball down. 32 all. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Well, there you go. That actually sums it up, does it not?
And that was the final whistle of the game, to see Gibraltar and Ireland finishing that game on 32 goals each. Unbelievable, Joan.
Unbelievable. And to be quite honest, that's probably the best result we could have expected from that game, because I'm not sure either team deserved to win or either team deserved to lose that one. It was an unbelievable game from so many different points of view. So I think a draw is probably the best result we could have expected from that.
Well, I think
I'm
it has
a little
reflected
speechless.
the intensity of the competition this weekend. We saw earlier today Switzerland beat Isle of Man in a really competitive game to take 4 from 4 victories here. 32 all, Republic of Ireland, Gibraltar. I think that will mean that Gibraltar will end up runners-up this event,
think
but we
so.
will find out shortly when we go to the presentation. What a game of netball.
Amazing.
What a tournament. Netball Europe U17 Challenge event here in Gibraltar. Joe Beveridge, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you with us.
It's been a pleasure.
Enjoyed it.
I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. Thank you very much for having me.
Well, as we said, we know that Switzerland will be facing the might at the Under-17 Championship next year, but don't go away, stay with us, and we will be bringing you the presentation here shortly to find out who did take the silver medal and who will be player of the tournament. It's been a fantastic weekend of netball. My thanks go to so many people: Netball Europe, Inspire Sport, our sponsors, Gibraltar Netball Association and all the volunteers here on the Rock, GSLA, QTV Sports and GIB Media for bringing the live streaming to you all weekend, and of course all of you at home who've tuned in. I'm Lynn Carpenter. I hope you enjoyed the weekend. Stay with us, the presentation shortly. Sarah Simon, captain of Ireland. What a game of netball you just put out there here in Gibraltar. How does it feel?
It feels great. We played our heart out and we're so happy with the performance. Despite the score, we're so happy and we're glad we played the game we said we'd play.
32 all in this match against Gibraltar, which we knew was the decider for the weekend. Your team has been amazing, the support's been amazing. What have you got to say to people who've been tuning in all weekend to watch you?
Just thank you so much for giving us the support we needed, and it's been great to have all the support around us, and it really helps bring up the spirit of the team as well.
And what will you all collectively take from this event? What have you enjoyed the most?
Just the experience and just being around everyone, the team, a new crowd, just everyone's so great and everyone just supported each other. It's just been amazing.
Well, we're really proud of you all here this weekend. Really pleased at the way you played, and Sarah, I hope you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, I have. Thank you.
Well, thank you, and hopefully we'll see the Irish team back here again next year.
Not me though. Thank you.
Chloe Hernandez, captain of Gibraltar and now captain of the silver medal team here at the championships. How do you feel?
Well, we had a really tough match today. Ireland has worked their butts off, I think, but we were able to catch up to them.
So 32 all in that game, amazing result. How are the team feeling?
Well, at the beginning we were a bit confused because we didn't know what was going to happen, but we're really excited.
And it went from both ends. You were slightly ahead, the Irish were ahead. How did you manage to keep your composure? And all the crowds were shouting and supporting.
Well, the crowd, I think, makes us a bit nervous, but we fight till the end, and that's how we do it.
So congratulations. Have you enjoyed the event this weekend?
Yes, I really have indeed, and it's my last year, so...
So a great one to end on. So thank you. Well done to Gibraltar, and great play this weekend.
Thank you very much.
there, mate?
That was a good game. Okay,
Yeah,
it's
my
a shame we
bloody
didn't win it
nerves
though.
are shot to pieces, but yeah.
It's a shame we didn't win it though, because we caught them up. We lost them again. We caught them up. We lost them again.
Birthday pants, they need to get off the court.
Flag bearer.
We would like to welcome you all to the closing ceremony of the Netball Europe U17 Challenge event, and thank you for traveling to the competition and for all your fantastic support throughout these 3 days. So can we please now welcome onto the court the ball girls, the umpires, and our participating countries: Malta, Isle of Man, Switzerland, Ireland, and Gibraltar. We would now like to ask Lynn Carpenter, the Netball Europe Chair, to come forward to present the awards and first say a few words.
Good afternoon, and thank you to everybody for what has been a wonderful weekend of netball. To you 60 athletes, what a performance you've put on this weekend, and I think we should give them a huge round of applause. I think everybody will agree that the quality of the event this weekend, the level of international performance that Gibraltar have put on as hosts, has been second to none. So I'd really like to thank Gibraltar Netball Association for everything that's happened. And I am going to ask Moira Gomez, President of Gibraltar, to stand up and take a bow and a round of applause yourself. We know that weekends of this nature don't just happen, and there have been a huge amount of people who've supported Moira and all the volunteers here. So I would also like to thank GSLA and in particular Dining 54 outside for all the support they've given us to give us such a great court and all the facilities this weekend. Thank you very much. A special thank you to the technical bench, the match bench officials for all that they've done, all the ball girls and the umpires here this weekend, all the volunteers and everybody, whether you're here this weekend or elsewhere, that makes netball what it is. All of the countries here this afternoon, this weekend, all rely on volunteers. There are no paid staff in any of these countries, so all of you should be extremely proud of what you've done to contribute to this weekend. And finally, but certainly not least, to everybody who supported here this weekend from all the travelling countries and the host Gibraltar. At this level, these young athletes are international role models, and we saw it was International Women's Day on Friday, a really great weekend to showcase such brilliant young people who have the future of their international sport at their hands. But you all have that as your responsibility too, so I want to thank you for everything you do to support these young people, and I hope you've had an amazing weekend.
Three days ago, a B Umpire Award test took place, and we are very pleased to announce the umpires were successful. Could Chloe Hernandez and Tiana Samit please step forward to receive their certificates? The appointed umpires for this under-17 competition have been working hard all weekend, so please show your appreciation to Megan Samuel, Anna Hernandez, Catriona Mills, Lynette Wall, Katie Sanders, and Katie Howell, who will now be receiving their certificates and badges. For many players, this has been their first time representing their countries, so may I please ask appointed delegates to represent caps to their players. From Gibraltar, Moira Gomez, Jennifer O'Brien from Ireland, Pip Cross for the Isle of Man, Settina Gauci from Malta, and Sam Brigman and Laura Kehoe for Switzerland. After each match, every country has named a player of the match, and our appeals panel have been collating these. And the player of the Under-17 Challenge event from Isle of Man is Olivia Jacqueline Chata. After a very exciting last match, we can confirm that the placings and results of the Netball Europe Under-17 Challenge competition is as follows. In 5th place, Malta. In 4th place, Ireland. In 3rd place, Isle of Man. And to collect the runners-up medals, could Gibraltar please step forward? And so, the winners of the 2019 Netball Europe Under-17 Challenge competition is Switzerland! Could Switzerland please step forward to collect your medals? may I please ask you all to stand for the national anthem of Switzerland, and to all players, can you please face the flag? We would now like to ask the captain of the host country, Gibraltar, Chloe Hernandez, to step forward and say a few words.
On behalf of all the players and management staff, I would like to say a big thank you firstly to everyone who has made this tournament possible, especially Netball Europe, the GIB Netball Association and the GSLA staff in the smooth running of this competition. Secondly, I would like to thank all the players for making the game so competitive, as well as the umpires for making the games possible. I'd like to thank QTV and GIB Media for live streaming our fantastic sport to many around the world. Lastly, a massive thank you to all the volunteers and supporters here today. The atmosphere wouldn't have been the same without you. Thank you.
We thank you all for supporting this competition, and we also wish you all a safe journey home. Thank you.